Greetings, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I am the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan. I'm continuing my series here on the Black Boss News channel on the real leading causes of death for black men. According to the CDC, that is, the real leading causes of death for black men is abortion, number one. Mainstream news won't harp on that being the real leading cause of death. Then it's the death care industry, of the European medical system that we're trapped under. That medical system is they kill hundreds of thousands of people every single year, but that's unaccounted for. And then third is obesity, because obesity leads to all diseases, and over 80% of all black men are overweight or obese. And that leads to all of these conditions that I've gone over. The other videos, if you have not watched them, study them, share them. This is a video series exclusively being aired here on the Black Boss News channel, courtesy of the legendary Dr. Boyce Watkins. And in this video, we're covering stroke. And that's an issue near and dear to my heart, because my father, the late, great Pastor Eddie Jordan Jr., he had 9 strokes and died at age 66. And the main reason why he had all those strokes and kept eating himself to death is because he believed, as a evangelical Christian, he was brainwashed into believing a slave/snakes oils theology that teaches that as long as you bless your junk food in Jesus' name, that Jesus will make, no matter what you eat, it can be pork chops, buttered mashed potatoes, and a large soda, and cake and ice cream. That was his favorite meal. And he believed that Jesus will bless that to be as healthy as what years later his son, a black preacher. That's what I am. I'm a black preacher, also the Minister of Wellness. But I've come from under the slave snakes oils theology. No, you can't just pray to Jesus, Yahshua HaMashiach, and he bless your food. I mean, that's nonsense. No, we have to eat to live. And so I have my large salad and greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. Family members are in denial in my family about how my father and all of his brothers are wiped from all these strokes. They're in denial because they're food addicts and they don't want to change the way of eating that has destroyed our family. And it's not just my family. This is an epidemic in all black families where people don't want to change. And even if you have a family member that has come to the knowledge, they've seen me lose 100 pounds, I reversed heart disease, they still don't want to believe it. And it's always hard anyway for family and people that grew up with you to have the level of respect that they should have when you're talking to a man that has duplicated his health success in thousands of people. It's not like I'm just running my mouth and don't have the results to show for it. All you have to do is go to the ministerofwellness.com and see all the success stories of people reversing disease using the medicine foods of God. And so there's still debate within my family with many others. Well, how do you know that a stroke is 100% caused by what we eat? Well, it is. It is. A stroke is a blockage, a clot in the brain, in the blood vessels leading to the brain. And when blood flow gets blocked, the brain has to restore that blood flow, because blood flow provides nourishment to the brain. And if nourishment isn't getting to the brain, you're going to get dementia, Alzheimer's, mental illness, schizophrenia. So the brain has a convulsion to restore that blood flow. That's what a stroke is. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's the brain trying to fight to restore blood flow due to a clot. That's called an embolism. Where does that clot come from? Well, it starts lower near the heart. The heart is a muscle the size of a closed fist, and when it pumps, it pushes blood throughout the body. That's the top number on your blood pressure reading. Systolic, diastolic, in between beats is supposed to purify the blood so it can repump it. Now, when our heart is weak from what we eat, too much salt, too much sugar, too much oil, too much fat, when our blood vessels become damaged, our blood vessels are the highway that carries the blood. Our blood becomes thick with too much cholesterol and saturated fat. Again, the junk foods, and we eat far too much meat, and we eat animals that God told us not to eat. And that thickens the blood, and it destroys the blood vessels. The blood vessels, you want it to stay elastic, but the blood vessels are the roads. That's our internal roads and highways. They can become damaged and cracked. Pay very close attention. Out in our world, when the roads become damaged and cracked, the city hires construction workers to come and repair it. And those construction workers block off that street that needs repaired. So you have to go around them. In our bodies, our highways and byways, when they become damaged or cracked, the white blood, our system sends the white blood cells to come and repair that damage. But while they're repairing that damage, it causes a clot called a thrombose. It blocks blood flow. That's dangerous. That's dangerous because when blood flow is stopped to the heart, you're going to have a heart attack. You're going to have a heart attack. OK, and then if that thrombose breaks off, if part of that clot breaks off and starts to travel, that's called an embolism, and it travels up to your brain and your brain ruptures. That's 90% of the strokes that we have. There's also something called a hemorrhagic stroke, where you can have chronic blood pressure. In that chronic blood pressure will literally burst one of the blood vessels in your brain. And that comes from too much sodium, which we consume far too much sodium in this nation. Stroke is 100% preventable. That's 100% preventable. That clot doesn't have to develop. Your blood vessels don't up and become damaged because of no reason. Your blood doesn't become thick for no reason. Your heart doesn't weaken for no reason. Those are not the natural consequences of aging. Those are the consequences of the satanic American diet, the satanic American culture. That's what killed my father. And those were perpetuated by a slave snakes oils theology that, again, taught him you can eat your pork chops. You can eat your butter, your margarine, your bologna sandwiches, your barbecue ribs, your chicken, your cake and ice cream, your sugar, your salt. None of that matters as long as you bless it in Jesus' name. He believed that. He believed it. He used to make fun of my cousin who was a Muslim eating his ham sandwiches. And what was the result? 9 strokes. From age 58 to 66, I watched my hero, the man who, when I was a child, I looked up to as God. Before he introduced me to the Most High, he was my God. And I watched him turn into a vegetable, unable to even change himself. And he had to wear diapers. I watched that happen to him. And that was 100% preventable. That did not have to happen at all. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries and seeds, other fresh fruits and vegetables keep our heart strong, will keep your blood flow flowing like water, and keep your arteries elastic. And you never have to worry about stroke. You can reverse your blood pressure, which is the leading cause of stroke. You can get off them dangerous blood pressure poisons, the prescription drugs, which have a side effect of stroke. It doesn't have to be, brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to be. Every time a black man dies from heart disease and stroke, it is a needless death. And there's no controversy that should be attached to it. We have mastered focusing on the mosquito that's biting us, and we're being ran over by this stampede. We cannot claim to be so much pro-black and for Black Lives Matter, and we don't want to talk about health. We don't want to talk about the self-genocide that we're doing to ourselves. We have wholesale embrace eating ourselves to death as a people. And unless we address this monster, unless we address it, it's almost pointless talking about anything else if you're not going to focus on your health. That's what a stroke is. For all uncensored videos, much more detailed information where I don't have to speak with so much caution and so forth. That's what the Minister of Wellness Unleashed news channel is for. That's what that's for. I post multiple videos per day for our members throughout the week, and they get to enjoy the unleashed version of the Minister of Wellness. That's the ministerofwellness.com. And again, the online store, the blood pressure lowering herbal extract, lose 100 pounds in 100 days book, biblical principles to overcome obesity and all disease. I have over 50 herbal extracts. I have vitamin D, vitamin C. I have everything. I have everything that you need to get your health together. The ministerofwellness.com online store. 888-847-8026. Need help placing an order, questions, comments, or concerns? 888-847-8026. Follow us on Facebook. Join our online community. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. I'm also on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. The more you follow me, the better. The Minister of Wellness. Make sure you're properly registered on the email list. The ministerofwellness.com. A pop-up box will appear. Enter your email to ensure no matter what, I can stay in touch with you and give you the important health information you will not hear in the mainstream news. Make sure you're on the email list. We also give recipes out. And when I post public videos on the power of the G-bombs and all the other videos I have to revise due to my YouTube channel being hacked, you'll be the first to know when you're properly registered on the email list. Group health coaching is available for members also. That's a benefit of being a member of the Minister of Wellness Unleashed news channel. Me and Dr. Chef Felicia Ann, we go live every Wednesday, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's group health coaching every single Wednesday. That's a part of the membership, all rolled into that one price, along with the private live stream events the first Sunday of every month for members. If you want personalized one-on-one coaching, 888-847-8026, the ministerofwellness.com, 888-847-8026, the ministerofwellness.com, and you get a 25% discount code when you book me or Dr. Chef to coach you one-on-one, which we would love to do. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed upon the face of the whole earth, and every tree that produces fruit with seed in it. It shall be food.